morning. This is Scott from Scott Shop Media. Today is Tuesday, November 24th, and this is what is happening on the mountain. Just a brief overview of what we got going on. Currently, there are 3 CalTrans projects scheduled for today, 2 of them during the day, 1 of them overnight. No major accidents going on right now. There was a traffic accident on the 18 this morning at Waterman Canyon. Minor injuries. But because it is in San Bernardino PD's handle, they call it, they're still waiting for the police to get there, and they won't tow it until the police gets there. So the vehicle's still there, and I think there might even be some occupants still there. So if you see that going on at Upper Waterman Canyon, that's what's going on. Everything's okay. Weather is going to look nice. It's kind of cool and crisp today and tomorrow. But Thanksgiving and especially overnight, Thursday night to Friday, we can see a return of a moderate Santa Ana wind event, which will increase our fire danger. Winds shouldn't be too damaging on the mountaintop. Of course, the canyons and passes, it could be a lot worse. And that actually will increase our fire danger throughout the entire region through the weekend. There are no fires going on right now, but there was a structure fire caused pretty significant damage to a house on Lake Gregory yesterday. We posted on that separately. Just 3 crimes reported on the mountain yesterday. There are 5 Edison power outages, maintenance outages right now, affecting a total of 143 customers. And over the last 2 days, we have 40 new COVID cases on the mountaintop. So that's what I got for you in a nutshell. If you have a few minutes to stick around, we'll go into greater detail, starting with traffic, which is pretty light right now. Of course, the ongoing emergency repairs going on State Route 138 due to some damage from the El Dorado fire. There is the some ongoing work going on in the Crestline area, as well as in the Twin Peaks area on State Route 18 between 138 and Crest Forest Drive. And there's this traffic accident at Upper Waterman Canyon that I mentioned. Minor injuries. They did transport 1 person from an accident earlier this morning, but the vehicle is still there. It's off the road. It's not blocking, but you will see it as you go down the hill. And they're waiting for the police department to get there, and they won't call a tow truck until the police get there to order it. So you'll see some of that remnants. And then lastly, overnight, the ongoing interchange closures that are possible from the upbound, downbound 330 to the eastbound, westbound 210. Next, weather. We are going to look pretty cool and mild, mostly sunny skies today and tomorrow. As we approach Thanksgiving Day, we can expect to see a return of a Santa Ana wind event. Winds, especially on the west half of the mountain, gusting up to maybe 35 miles an hour. Certainly going to be stronger in the passes and the canyons. But shouldn't cause too much infrastructure damage as far as broken trees and power lines. But of course, we should be prepared for outages. We'll have to wait probably till tomorrow if Southern California Edison plans on doing any public safety outages as a result of this forecasted wind event. Should be the strongest overnight Thursday, and then start dissipating Thursday night, Friday morning. And we'll see some return of those sunny skies and some cool temperatures over our holiday weekend. The Santa Ana wind event is expected to be moderate on Thursday, Friday, drop down to marginal on Saturday. Wind speeds gusting up to about 35 miles an hour. And our fuel moisture content, which is what we're mostly concerned about, is drying out. It does not take much wind to dry out the moisture that's already on the ground. So even though this is sort of a region-wide forecast up here on the mountaintop, we always need to be concerned with the wind because it does dry out those fuels, especially the light, flashy, grassy fuels. But in order for our big timber to have a lower fuel moisture content, we need a lot more snow, a lot more rain that we've gotten already so far this year. So until we get our winter, until we get a significant amount of moisture on the ground, staying on the ground, these wind events do increase our fire danger. And you can see by afternoon on Thanksgiving, we could start seeing some gusts. And then overnight, we're expecting to see the strongest gust, and then it starts tapering off again on Friday. So we will keep an elevated fire risk through our forecast, at least through the next 7 days, starting on Thanksgiving. And after the wind event, we will be at a moderate risk for both new fire starts and for fire spread, which the Forest Service is going to keep the restrictions to extreme, or the threat level to extreme, with all of the restrictions that go along with that. There's no fires burning on the mountain right now, but yesterday we reported that structure fire in the Lake Gregory area, significant damage to the house, some extensive overhaul, but fire department did a great job containing it to the original structure. The house and the garage did not extend into the forest, didn't extend to any neighboring houses. No injuries reported. There were 3 residents got out safely, and the Red Cross is setting them up with shelter. 3 crimes reported on the mountain since yesterday. A person arrested for being under the influence, a report of an auto burglary, and a report of petty theft. There are currently 5 maintenance outages. Again, we'll keep watch out for any public safety outages associated with the upcoming wind event. But for today, normal maintenance outages affecting a little less than 150 customers in Lake Gregory, Lake Arrowhead, Running Springs, Arrowbear Lake, and Green Valley Lake. Mostly for pole upgrades, and depending on where you're at, we'll start seeing power restored this afternoon through early evening. Lastly, COVID-19 updates. If you weren't already aware, we've been reporting the numbers almost every day, but we are surging. Just for comparison purposes, back in this early summer, we had our last surge. We are seeing daily counts significantly higher now in the early part of November, the first 2 weeks of November, than we did in throughout the summer. So hopefully we'll see a downward trend. There's a 7-day lag in these numbers, and so even though it might look like some small numbers reported the last couple of days, as soon as all those numbers reported, it'll definitely be higher. The question is it going to be higher than what was reported back here a little over a week ago when we saw our highest total? These are county-wide numbers, by the way, so we saw a little over 1,600 daily cases reported last week. I believe that was Monday or Tuesday of last week. So how does that look for our hospital status? We haven't shared the hospital status in a while because we've been doing fairly well. But as you can see, as of last week, we are creeping up to where we peaked with hospital admissions, with ICU admissions, right? So here's where we were with hospitals when we peaked. We're almost there right now, peaking, which, clearly is a problem for a small community. ICU admissions down the hill, almost where we were at when we peaked earlier in the summer. And then ventilator use. One of the things we were hoping for as we saw this resurgence come back was that it was going to be more mild than previously. But clearly we have just as many people in the hospital, just as many people in ICU, or just as many people on ventilators when we saw the previous spike. So don't forget to follow your safety protocols. It's going to be tough this Thanksgiving weekend, but there is a significant amount of spread. In fact, with 40 new cases reported in the last 2 days on the mountain, most of our mountain communities are under widespread risk tier. These are the 7-day average, trailing 7 days using the state's 4-tier risk system. As of just a little while ago, There were 10 new cases reported today and yesterday in Big Bear City, 6 in Big Bear Lake, 2 in Blue Jay, 5 in Crestline, 1 in Fawnskin, 1 in Forest Falls, 4 in Lake Arrowhead, 4 in Running Springs, 1 in Sugarloaf, and 6 in Twin Peaks, bringing our 2-day new total to 721 cases across the mountain. That's a widespread risk in the Bear Valley communities, a widespread risk in the rim communities using that 7-day average, 7-day trailing number. You can see that we're doing better than the rest of the county as far as the total percentages go. Bear Valley, you're at about a 1.75% of total population testing positive, and rim communities, you're about a 1.25% of total population testing positive. On the average, we're just a little bit below 1.5%, which the rest of the county is at a 4%. So we're doing much better than the county, but we need to get these numbers down if we want to see things return to normal. Returning to normal means, for the most part, we need to be, to get down to the next level of restrictions, we need to be below a 7.0. And on a daily average, we are at a 40 right now. With the new numbers today, we're at a 40. Rest of the county at 108, and I haven't seen a number go above 100 yet. In fact, not too long ago, last week, we didn't see a number go above 50, and that's 50 new cases per 100,000 in the population. So San Bernardino County right now is a very large amount of spread. The rest of the state, about a 35. The rest of the country at about a 50. Again, these numbers have to go down before we can see some relaxation of the restrictions. So that's all I got for you today. Feel free to follow along, text me, email me, but we'll give you late breaking news on what is happening on the mountain on Facebook. And if we need to go live, we'll share on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope for any emergencies. Again, Scott from Scott Shop Media, and you have a wonderful day.